Okay, so when we're looking at gold for a potential trade setup this morning, we have the NFP spike, obviously. Now, generally what happens is some retracement after the initial spike, and that retracement is always, we're not sure exactly how much retracement we get, right? It could be the 382, could be the 50, could be the 618, or it could retrace the whole move, right? But generally there's most always often retracement. It doesn't just pump straight up and stay there. Now, we've already retraced the 382. We touched that 382 and it found buyers right away. So that could be a pretty relevant level at the moment, which is around 3572 on Forex. Okay, so I'm just going to be aware of that level coming into the day, because that's the level that's reacted the most so far. We almost had a second touch on it too, kind of playing chicken with that level. So let's just mark out this 10-minute orb here. 10-minute orb. Okay, we have 5 minutes left still on this thing. We'll take a look at SPY real quick. And then we'll look at the edge finders while we wait for these orbs to form, just to see what the economics look like. Okay, that's probably going to be higher there. Okay, so let's look at US 500. Yeah. Okay. Now that would have been a little bit difficult to trade. I mean, this is more of a normal NFP move, right? We have consolidation and we literally have an equal and opposite reaction around that consolidation, a massive whipsaw, and an irrational one at that, right? Because those NFP numbers should have made the stock market dump a little bit more, but it's actually higher than before the news. It's just because the numbers were so bad, right? So we had, let's kind of move, is that, yeah, $35 move, not crazy. Now, because there's so much volatility from NFP, the ATR on our stop loss is going to naturally be higher. So whatever trade we do take this morning, it's going to have a wider range. It might take longer to play out. So just be aware of that. But it might not be as bad, because if it doesn't go our way, we won't get destroyed so quickly. Maybe it gives it a little bit more time to manage the trade. Did anyone trade the NFP? Anybody in chat try to trade the NFP? I won't judge you. Oh, you trade it after the pump though, not before. Right? Yeah. I feel like no matter what, that's just a losing situation. Even if it works out, if you're on any prop firm at all, they're just going to find a reason to say, nope, I don't think so. Oh, nice. You're in a buy. Okay. Okay, so we are having some retrace. Okay, so guys, for US 500, I would still be bearish, just because we have this irrational move to the upside, right? So I'm just going to be cautious. I wouldn't want to go long on US 500 today, even if the orb breakout shows bullish. I just think the risk is too high. I mean, we're floating up here in an irrational price movement. When is that? Right, that's going to have some kind of correction, you would think. So we're going to watch that. NASDAQ. Same kind of thing. Oh, nice. You got a nice recovery there. Oh, yeah. Good recovery. Yeah. See, price is coming back down now. A lot more for NASDAQ than it is for SPY. Okay. I'm just going to mark my orb on both the pairs here. Now, the issue with trading after an NFP pump like this is that the market structure, there really isn't a whole lot other than a potential retracement zone, right? Because normally we can look at the VWAP or we can look at the EMAs for potential crossover and a retest of a key level, anything like that. But we're just kind of floating out in space here until some structure forms around this pump. And not just that, we're at all-time highs as well. So it's kind of like a interesting scenario, right? Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, if we're day trading based off of some kind of market structure, how do you navigate getting into the market without any valid market structure other than thinking, oh, gold is pumping, let's go long, right? So the only valid trade in this situation that I would be looking for is a potential pullback to a Fibonacci retracement level, because obviously, let's go to the edge finder, right? Obviously, gold's very bullish economically. We've been talking about this for 2 weeks. Like, we're just bullish. We have not been bearish on gold unless it's been a very short term or a day trade that we took. That's it, right? So let's get a breakdown here. Yeah, so economics and also on the technical side, all very bullish, right? We have bullish seasonality, bullish trend. Retail traders are starting to short, which is a good sign, right? That it's going to go up more. So the way the edge finder calculates retail sentiment, it gives it, if there are more retail traders shorting gold, it will be a bullish score for the edge finder, which is funny because they're trying to go against what retail traders are positioned at. Because retail traders are always trying to time the tippity top of a move, right? And then they get stuck in their position and hold it. They get stuck in their short and they hold it forever. Okay. We are done our open range candle. Let me just clear that up a bit. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we're right in the middle of it. We'll take a look at the range of it. Let's go to XAUUSD. Clear that one as well. This is that is an interesting candle. So that's kind of nice, actually. Buyers and sellers exactly even on this candle. Perfect. Little doji there. Okay, so basically, it looks like we're at almost an $8 open range, which is not too bad, pretty average. Now, I think I would rather go long on this. Just the biggest red flag is, well, we have had we've had an okay retracement to the 382, which was right here. So that level has been touched and grabbed. So it probably isn't the worst thing in the world to look for a potential long setup here on gold if we get a break out of this range. Now, we might just bounce around back and forth until the market closes here. That can happen sometimes after NFP. It's like everyone's done for the day. They went home, and now it's just kind of bouncing back and forth. So but we might get something. For SPY, 15-minute candle here. That's not done yet, but I'll mark it anyway. I like I said, I would be very hesitant to go long on SPY. So if we look at the PFK alpha setup, you can see that we had a crossover. It's hard to judge this, right? Because we had, I mean, it's a really nice entry, but it's right around news. So technically it looks really good, but if you consider the news, we had the same problem the last 2 days. Like, we had news jamming up our trades because we were trading New York Open, and we also had news release a little bit after, right? So we had a nice EMA crossover on the 5 and 20, and then we had a close above the VWAP with a nice bullish strong candle, and the volume was probably pretty solid too. Yeah. So we had a retracement here. So this would have been the entry on that setup right here. This is what that looks like, right? And then generally you target 10 points this time of day, and you go one to one. I think normally is the safest play, but if you want to get more aggressive, you can obviously attempt a 2 to 1, which is not invalid either. This is just, you're going to have a little bit larger losing streaks if you do it like this. But this is the limit order. So you get the crossover, you get the breakout, and then you get the retest. So the only problem with this one is this crossover technically wouldn't have shown until this candle closes. So it might have been the more valid entry like that. And in that case, I probably would have definitely done a 1 to 1 just because we want to have some defense below that VWAP. So it's kind of the idea there if you're watching SPY. Okay, go 3 minute on gold here. Okay, so we have a trigger event here on gold, which is bullish. That's good. So that's our trigger event for the orb. Let's go to the Discord channel. Okay. Yeah, has anyone been trying the NASDAQ one? I mean, this week wouldn't have been good for it just because the news was right in the middle of the open range candle. Why do I have 916? Oh my gosh, I gotta edit that. 916, huh? My fat fingers. Okay, so yeah, on gold, we're just gonna wait for 2 consecutive 3 minute candles to close here. So we have one. If this one closes in 2 minutes, that's going to be a buy signal. Like I said, like there's not a lot, like we're all-time highs, right? So there's no potential resistance other than a psychological level, which would be on futures. Psychological level would be right here. Okay, just gonna mark that in a different color. Psychological level there. And on XAUUSD, right here, psychological level of 3,600. Okay, so just be aware of those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a trade on my funded account. $3,588. Why would you? Oh, 3,588 is just on spot. Would be the tap of the of that pump, yeah. But I think we potentially have more upside anyway on gold today. It's Friday as well. Okay, we don't want this thing to overpump too much, but we do have a nice read here. I really don't want to compete with this zone. We just can't pump too much. We just need a bit of a. Oh, we're getting a $5 candle on this breakout. Okay, no worries. What I'll do in this situation, just because we're all-time high and we have this psychological level here, we have 45 seconds there. Okay, so let's see what the ATR is real quick on the 5 minute. $7. Okay, so we're targeting a $7 take profit. So let's do this. We'll target 7. Oh, this is, don't leave me behind here. Okay, we'll target 7. We'll target that psychological level just under it. I'm going to do a limit order right here, just so I don't have to compete with the psychological level. Okay, so let's try that. Let's see, do something like that. I think limit order. Oh, did I not set this up right? Hold on. I did not. There we go. Create limit order. Okay. Okay, I'm doing a buy limit. Let's see if I can pull back and give me a little bounce here. I just don't want to enter in at that site. That 3-minute candle just trolled us, right? It literally pumped $8 while we're waiting for a breakout confirmation. So let's see if this can pull back a little bit, trigger, and we get in. Because we'll get in at the discounted price. We should see sellers here, I imagine. Okay. Let's look at ES real quick. 15-minute candle. That's the open range. Okay, it's bouncing around inside the range. No rush here. We can watch it. We had one breakout entry confirmation here, but that didn't last long. It retraced the move completely. Let's check out what the DXY is doing. I'm going to add DXY on this chart, actually. So DXY is dropping, to be expected, and we're actually hitting the support level, which is interesting. Which also aligns with the psychological level on gold. Okay, so we should, like, that's kind of an interesting correlation, right? Now, the thing is, if this breaks, then I imagine gold will just break that psychological level. But we should see it just for if we're talking about short time frame, we should see a little bit of a bounce here. But the other thing is too, like, we did have a bounce already. Now it's gonna maybe break. Yeah, I want to get in, but it's not smart to jump in here. Not yet. This is a much more rational trade, waiting for this pullback here. And the reason why I picked this level is because then I can target just under the psychological level while staying within. I'll set it up on. Sorry, I'll set it up on spot here too. Spot's not as bad because the psychological level is higher, actually. 7. It's close to there. Let me double check. Can you just come down for me, please? $8 away. Oh, it's actually like right there. That would be it, like there on spot. The timing is impeccable, huh? Did anyone take the market order trade for the orb entry? Just because this is the way I'm gonna play it. It's not necessarily right or wrong if you do it the other way. I don't like entering in after a $8 God candle in all-time highs. That's all. Going into a psychological level seems a little risky. just a little bit. Okay, well, we need a little bounce here on the DXY. This would be nice. We see this on the DXY like this. Doop, boop. That would probably give us our entry on gold. Go back to SPY. What's SPY doing? Okay, another breakout. Okay, that's not as bad. Another, well, that's going to close in 12 seconds. Let's see if it closes outside of that orb. Oh my gosh, it's going to be like right on the border. No, it did not. All right, we'll wait for that. Once again, rejected by the VWAP. I'm going to look at it on Forex. Good idea. Did it close on Forex? No, it closed inside on Forex as well. Wow, rare. Yeah, we're chopping around in here right now. Okay, so obviously if we go short, right? If we get a breakout confirmation, we go short. We just have to be aware of this VWAP here as support. So let's check the ATR. 5-minute ATR is $6 at the moment, so just, that's not too bad, $6. So it would look like this. Ideally, I'd like to go, ideally I'd enter after price closes below that VWAP, regardless. You know, and then that's also kind of nice because we're going to have a read on the, we're going to have an alignment between the PFK alpha and the open range where these EMAs are going to cross over. That'll cross below. And then we're looking for a $6 move. $6 right now seems very tight, which is funny. You know, I think maybe that can be a situation where we go like a 1 to 5 or something, or 1 to 2 even. Let's see. Okay, gold is just kind of floating. You know, good call. We didn't enter here, I think, in my opinion. I might be proven wrong here, but I think I feel better about just waiting here. DXY is, okay, DXY might bounce. Come on. We need DXY to bounce to about here. Retest that. And then dump again. And then we need gold to come down with that. Volume is just really, really low right now. The breakout volume candle was nice, and then it dropped right off. Right there. That breakout, that candle after the breakout candle was incredibly large. $10 on a 5-minute candle. Okay, we'll be watching ES here. Okay, that's not bad. That's a bearish read. So ES, you can go short now or you can wait for the confirmation. I'm going to set it up short now on one of my funded, or on one of my evals here. So it's going to look like this. 7, 7. There we go. All right, I'm going to try that trade. Let's move that just a bit. Okay, let's see how that goes for me. Now, you have to wait for the open range confirmation for the back test. You have to wait for one more candle close on the 3-minute. The only reason I took this trade now is because we closed below the VWAP. We had a crossover. It's a bearish read for PFK Alpha, so I'm going to attempt the PFK Alpha trade here. But just wait. If you want to trade orb, just wait for that trade. We need this one to close here and then one more. So it's going to be, you need to be a little bit more patient. I'll try if this one flops, I'll try the orb trade as well. Oh, also the other option for the PFK Alpha entry is to set a limit order at the VWAP there, which would have been a better entry at the moment. Let's see if this rolls over at the VWAP. That would be nice. Check on gold while we wait for that. Yeah, gold is not coming back down for me. Okay, let's go to my other eval here. Okay, we'll wait for let's see. Yeah, the VWAP play, maybe I should have done that. I don't think about that. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll see what happens. Yeah, because that entry on the VWAP play would have been really nice. We got this one instead, though. That's okay. They should both play out nicely. It's dumping right off the VWAP there. Okay, so we have 1, 2. If this candle closes bearish, that is the SPY orb entry, which looks nice to me. I don't see any red flags about it other than potentially competing with the open price, but you should be, depending on where this candle closes, you should be close to being on the right side of that for your exit. Let's just hope this doesn't sell off too much before this candle closes, because we still have a minute. Oh. Well, if it was a funded account, I would have done the VWAP entry, but because it's a challenge account, I do the more aggressive entry, which is the market order entry. I'll enter the oh man, I'll enter the trade market order after the sell signal there. Okay, I had to close it there. Oh no, I took too much profit. Okay, that's a good trade. That's perfect. Okay, nice. We didn't get too much I almost got too much profit there, which is a headache to deal with. So I can only make 50% on this account. Okay, so that's a nice trade there. It just made us sweat a little bit, but actually it was nice because it did retest that VWAP for you guys. So hopefully a couple of you got a decent entry there as it headed back up to the VWAP. Now we can wait and see in 30 seconds. The issue with this now is the issue with taking the orb trade now is we have to compete with this. So that might not be best. You might want to wait for a bit of a retracement after this candle closes. Nice, that's huge. Okay, is gold giving us an entry? It's not. That's too bad. If we entered on the proper model, we'd almost be at TP at this point, which is crazy. I just did not feel good about entering off the pump. It's too strong. So even if it works out in hindsight, it's like it's better not to take it. Just have the discipline not to take it. Although I know we all want to trade gold. I do want to trade gold as much as you guys, trust me. Okay, so we are on our next candle here. So this is the entry technically for the open range trade. So you can do a couple things here. You know, you could have entered here, or you can wait for a retracement of some sort. I don't know if you get the VWAP again, but potentially like 50% retracement of this previous candle, or you could set a limit order like this. Yeah, you could set a limit order like this so that your TP is like above that open price, so you don't have to compete with it like that. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to push my luck, and I want to keep my account ready for gold. But if I was going to do the open range setup, that would be the setup I choose for this situation. Let's see if it would get in here. You know what? Whatever. Let's just try it. It's just that I think it's a $50 eval. Just to show you guys in real time an example. I wouldn't do it on a funded account, but just an eval here. This one for gold, I'll just cancel this. Oh no, that's fine. This account's fine because I took the setup for the funded on gold. Right. I'll have to be canceling that soon probably. What we want to do generally is if we set up a limit order trade, guys, you want to cancel the order if it hits your TP level before it hits your entry level. Does that make sense? So if this touches my TP level, I'm just going to cancel the order and we'll look for maybe a different setup or wait for the next day. But yeah, let's go back to here. Okay, this one's actually working out nicely again. See if we can retest this open price. We're flirting with it. Nice entry on that one so far. It might hard reverse here, who knows, but that if it does work out, that's a pretty clean entry. It's flirting with this open price, guys. I'm telling you, buyers are waiting here. Volume doesn't look alarming yet for a reversal. Very reasonable volume. This is the hard part about having your TP so close to open price, because like generally if there are buyers waiting there, it's like a game of chicken. It's like it's not going to be perfectly on the open price. They're going to set their buy limit orders like a little bit above it and all that stuff, right? So one more tick down and we are laughing. $6,515 is the open price for futures, and for US 500. Oh, we're a little bit further away on Forex, so that's a bit better. And the good thing about Forex too is the open price is at the psychological level of 6,500 as well. So I think, you know, ideally that's an attractive. I think selling here makes sense. I mean, the biggest problem, I think we're having some technical support right on this level here. So anyway, that's not bad. Yeah, we should be able to get down to at least this level, which would be within our TP. We're just flirting with our TP right now. It's not being easy on us. This is holding here is the hardest part, right? You kind of want to just close the trade, and we were like 300 from our profit, especially after we already just had a win. But we'll just hold it for the sake of science. We'll do it for science, guys. We want to experience the emotions of holding a trade to the TP. Can you feel it? Can you feel the pressure? Yeah, I want to press the close button too, trust me. Hey, there you go. We didn't press it, and the universe rewarded us. Now we don't need to trade an extra day to make $500 because we waited. All right, 2 W's on SPY. 2 beautiful entries. We had a PFK alpha entry. We had an orb entry, but we customized the orb entry a little bit, which is that's what we call some intuitive trading on the entry, right? We kind of look at, we're reacting to the market. The reason why, I'll explain why we don't go off of the pure technical entry. Like technical entry, guys, it's really good. Like if we're looking at SPY, right? It's really good for back testing because you understand like, okay, we can look for these mechanical signs that a trade might be valid. And then we can use our experience and reacting to the current price action to make a decision if that entry model looks valid. And we just had to make some slight adjustments because we had such a strong candle. But, even we would still be in the trade if we went off the standard entry model, right? So because we got that nice retracement there, and that was due to us avoiding the open price, that's all. So we customized it a little bit, and that's kind of how you can apply mechanical trading with manual trading and analysis. Beauty. Now for gold, oh no, I thought I got in. I was like looking at the, I moved it up. I moved it up. I was like, am I in? No. I don't want to go in here. This is the level I want to go in at. I'll let it soak for a while, but the problem is now, it smashed my TP. So I should really cancel this order. I just didn't get the entry. But honestly, this is not, from a technical standpoint, this isn't a bad price point to enter, right? If you think about it, it's the top of this previous consolidation after the pump. We could get a nice little technical pullback and then continue up for just to retarget this psychological 3650 level. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really nice, beautiful, clean move. We literally got to experience everything there, right? We did our pre-analysis, which we decided, we don't want to go long, right? We definitely don't want to go long because this pump up to the upside was irrational. It should have been a sell-off after the NFP numbers. So this was irrational here. So we got a retracement of that irrational move, right? And it was very kind to us because it formed the orb at the top of that irrational move for us. We got a break out of the orb. We had a clear, strong close below the VWAP. So that's our first entry, we had a nice crossover on the EMAs as well, the 5 minutes. I have to go to the 5 minute. We had a really nice crossover on the 5 minute EMAs, right? A nice strong close, and then just a sell off. And we were worried about this open price, but obviously we didn't have to be too worried about it because it did not respect it much at all. It respected it a little bit. There's a little respect there, but not a lot. Not a lot. Not a lot. So that's not bad, right? You got to like it when price action moves like it should, I guess I should say. That's the way price action should be. I'm just kind of just telling a story. Now I think the story is going to end with this thing closing bearish today. I imagine it'd be like slow sell off for the rest of the day. Gold is actually responding exactly how it should to NFP. Huge pump, consolidation, and then another rally after a 38% retracement of the initial pump. So you see this here. That's the move. Oh, you know what? That's actually interesting. So this is the NFP move here. And we got a 50% retracement almost exactly off the NFP move. Now, if we go to the bottom of the previous range here, it's actually a 38% retracement. So depending on where you put your fib, if you want to do it on the news move or the previous move, both are valid. I think the more valid one after NFP would be just to mark out the actual news move so you can get a 50% retracement off of the news move. We had this is random giant black candle right here. A random, almost a $6 sell-off candle with lower volume than this. That makes me think gold's going to pop off again. Oh yeah, ES so weak. We could have just like held this trade. I can't make more on that account. I'm kind of wishing that I took ES on my funded now that I think about it. It was such a nice setup. It's just because I had that limit order on gold that blocked me. That is a counter move. Let's look at it on the 1 hour. Look at that. Countered. Now where does ES go from here? The question is, guys, let's look at Edge Finder real quick. The question is, what is the future for SPY? Coming into September. All of September. Seasonality also for SPY is very weak in September, right? And we just had terrible numbers. COT data is not looking great. The trend is the only thing keeping this thing like bullish right now. And retail traders, interestingly enough, retail traders are shorting SPY, but they might be right this one time. Oops, I gotta clear this. So let's take a look. The future for SPY. What do you guys think? Anybody in chat have any predictions on SPY, what they think for September? Like, where do you think we're going to be going through September? I'll pull it up on Forex here. Just want to double check gold. Okay, gold's just doing nothing. I'm going to have to cancel this. So sad. Okay, so the gold trade, guys, I mean, the orb was valid. I just wanted a better entry, so I didn't take it, but we got two really beautiful trades on SPY. Oh, we are just breaking this here. Beautiful. Yeah, if I'm considering everything, one thing I've kind of learned about watching the markets for so many years is that gold doesn't lie about what's really going on. The stock market does. The stock market is it can pump with no rhyme or reason. People are just buying it. But gold is usually the honest one. So if gold and SPY are pumping together, which one's lying? Because that doesn't make sense, right? Gold is supposed to be a safe haven, risk on asset, right? Like if there's uncertainty in the market. So we have to think like this pump here, this uptrend that matches kind of gold. It was actually from August. It's just had such a strong rally from August 1st. That was our last catalyst. Let's mark an anchored VWAP there as well. See if that's going to show anything. Yeah. I remember we actually had a really good break here. Little fake out. The next time this thing, so I think what we can expect over the next couple of weeks is this thing's coming back down to the anchored VWAP here. That's what I think. So I'm gonna probably look for a swing trade setup coming into next week. Let's say this closes around here today. My swing trade setup would look like this. Well, I could do a few things. Let me just check the fib retracement here. Okay. So the next key level that I'm seeing is the 382. I mean, that is a very clear key level. We've had two mean reversions here and here where it found sellers. This is and also here it's pretty close here. We had a little bit of an overstretch, but you can see that this is a very, very strong level. So if we can break that, we're headed back down to the VWAP for sure. So I think what we do is we wait to see what happens at 6467 on Forex. On futures, we could do the same thing. Yeah, 647. That's ridiculous. What are the odds of that? 6476, 6467. Any numerologists out there want to tell me what that means? What kind of witchcraft is that, huh? Spy up, retail never wins. They do win eventually. It's just funny how many people get destroyed in the process. It's like that video game Lemmings. I don't know if you ever played it, but there's like 1,000 lemmings and like only one makes it to the end. That's exactly how retail trading works. They'll hold all the way to the top of the move somehow. One of us will make it through, guys. Don't worry. Just keep throwing bodies at it. Yeah. So this is the level we're watching. I'll put a swing trade analysis setup over the weekend here. But who knows? Interestingly enough, So my swing trade setup would be a bit different. I would want it to look like this. Break, retest, short to the VWAP. At least the VWAP. You could also probably target that previous swing low here. But VWAP, I mean, we've been overstretching VWAP, so this is anchor VWAP, by the way, not like the normal VWAP. So anchor VWAP is relevant because this was the last catalyst that caused a huge rally August 1st. There's really no other VWAP level we could look at anywhere unless we wanted to put one way down here. Let's put one way down there and just see what that looks like. Oh yeah, it's way down there. Whew. Yeah, you know what? Keep that level on your chart, because if there is like a huge market sell-off, if something happens, that would be the level everyone's looking at. But that would be a 10% dump on the market, which isn't like a recession, but it is, you know, we could very well sell off 10% over the course of 2 months. It's possible. I mean, it's happened before. It's not considered like a recession. I mean, like here, was this considered a recession? No. How far did this dump? That was 20%. Okay, so this is double here, this move. The sell-off that lasted 2 months, 46 days, 46 trading days. That's a 20% dump from February. And that was just tariff issues, right? But we have bigger issues than tariff issues. So if tariffs can dump at 20%, imagine what more serious issues could do. Doesn't really matter to us because we're day traders mostly, I think. So I'm sorry if someone's has all their investments in in the stock market. I'm not trying to freak you out. But yeah, this would be a level to target if there was major selling happening. And only 10%. It's only 10%. It's nothing crazy. Eventually you would think it would come back down, especially when it seems a little irrational to me that it's pumping so hard, in my opinion. Just because, and I say that just because of gold. Ooh, what's gold doing? Hold on. No, did I get my entry on gold? Should I try it? We're getting a bounce. Let's try it, shall we? One more trade before the weekend. 7. Or should we try? I wonder if we should try this, the classic model, top of the orb. I don't know. This is a pretty nice level to long though. I think I'll do that. Gonna go for it. Okay, let's see. Don't want to do that. Okay, I'll just we'll target that. We'll target that psychological level there. 1-to-1. Let's see what happens. Oh, oops, it dumped off right. Well, okay. Adjust that. All right, we'll take this one last attempt here. Let's look at the DXY. Okay, the DXY is rallying up a little bit further than I thought. Remember this little line we made? That's what we wanted to do. It's stretched a little bit longer. Now we want to see this thing to roll back over. We want that to roll back over, please. And we want this thing just to come have a nice technical bounce off the top of the orb. We actually got in right at the top of the orb, so we got a little lucky when I pressed that button, but it might not be lucky. We might get smoked here. No alarming volume though, so that's good. Let's see how this plays out. So the reason why I canceled my limit order before is because technically you shouldn't enter the trade if you've already hit your TP. But we have a nice technical level bounce here that, we'll just take one shot at before the weekend. See how it goes. Slow down, please. Oh, nice. All right, we'll let this trade. I'm just going to let this trade soak for a bit. If it hits stop loss, then that's fine. We'll call it a day. Yeah, I don't know why the sellers are going so crazy here. Didn't respect that level whatsoever. DXY, not doing anything. It's actually a little surprised about the price action here. Okay, well, that did not look good. Is it gonna hit? Yeah, that's probably not going to work out in my favor. I was literally one tick away. We don't really have a bottom wick on this candle, so that makes me think it's going to flip. So one good thing about surviving the trade here is that we do know there are buyers here. I mean, we have a lot of rejection wicks, but I kind of want to get out of this trade if I get back to break even, because that was just a large amount of sell side volume. That just smashed through all this whole key level that I was watching. Last sip of coffee for good luck. Wow, that was really close. Now you almost have to hold the trade to see if you can win it. Come back from the dead like that. While this trade is waiting to lose, I'm going to, guys, we're going, after I get off, we're going to work on posting that PFK Alpha EA instructional video. If you haven't done the EA trading, I would just try it. Like, try it out. You can try it on demo accounts too. Well, I'll show you how to, like, you can input a demo account and all that. So come on up. 36.4. Yeah, that does not look good, does it? Buyers are just getting pushed down here. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll have that video up, and I'll create a channel just for PFK Alpha. So all the information for PFK Alpha will be right. Instead of going to the announcements, we'll have all the resources you need right in the resources channel, so you can see the instructions and any other links that you might need. Yeah. But it's pretty cool. We had a guy that passed his 10K. He tested it on. He passed his 10K with the PFK Alpha, completely automated. Yeah, this thing definitely wants to roll over here. So let's see here, announcements. Yeah. So right now we have some basic instructions, but we're going to have, like I have a video on EA setup as well that should help people. But the one that we're going to make today, it's going to be better and more up to date. We'll just go through the whole process of like, you can go to the dashboard, download an EA, one of the versions, put it on your chart, make sure all your settings are to your liking. We'll explain which settings you have to manually do yourself, right? Okay, gold, go do something. Okay, I'm just gonna let this trade soak. It's been an hour, so I have to bounce because I have to get that stuff rolling. So yeah, have a good weekend, guys. Nice trades on ES. Maybe this gold one will work out by some miracle, who knows. I'm just gonna leave it. Why not? We'll do it for the story. Imagine that. We come back and win the trade being one tick away from the stop loss. That would be insane. That almost never happens. Usually it ticks and hits my stop loss and then reverses. What is this sorcery? We'll see though. Hey, that's profit. I saw profit for a second. Okay, guys. Yeah. If you need anything, I'll be in VIP chat. Keep an eye out on the updates. And yeah, next week I'm going to be posting a little bit more about the EA and stuff. So we might have some new users in here trying out the EA. I haven't done any like marketing or anything like that, or much posting at all about the VIP, just because we're trying to get the whole foundation kind of laid out before we want more people in here, so everyone can like properly use the VIP the way it's supposed to be used long term. But that's our goal. We're going to create a lot of long-term value. So glad you guys are here. And yeah, and we are in the profit. So wow, insane. Let's see how it goes. I'll post it in the VIP chat after it plays out. All right. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good weekend. Peace.